Hello, today I would like to talk about a person. Uh, I was annoyed in silence until now, but now because I'm working on two court cases and I'm putting pieces together, I talk about talk with other victims, and I talk with other organizations who help targeted individuals, and I do my own research. I put things together, and I wanted to talk about this person because I used to live with him for 1 year. And so basically, a story when, because I'm Hungarian, but I lived in London most of the time. So when I was in Hungary and I went back to London, I was so brutally tortured and attacked that I almost died. But thankfully, I got a job and I could work somewhere. And my boss introduced me to this person, and I could live with him for like a year. Obviously, I paid rent. But he was very strange from the beginning. He's a therapist, but the whole time I lived there, he was just extremely strange. And what I realized since is that he's a gang stalking boss, so he runs gang stalkers, and he's probably MI6 agent. He's from Jamaica, and he changed his name. That's red flag number one. I saw he lives such a, affluent life. I'm not sure that's the right word, but he works with children now, and he's a former drug dealer. He told me that in confidence, but I'm gonna share it because of the way he treated me. He put me out with all of my stuff. Actually, at the time, I was taking medication that I needed, and he locked me out of the flat, and he withheld all of my stuff, including that medication. And I had to call the police on him, and the police went in, took it from him, and brought it to me with all of my stuff because he wouldn't even let me in the flat to take my stuff. So he's crazy. But in that flat, actually, where I lived in West Ham, Teasel Way, actually, can you see this mark? This is a permanent directed energy weapon attack. At that flat, I was tortured the most brutally, probably. Every day I was microwaved to shit. This was done there remotely. There were multiple house breakings. I had stains on my bed. There was I don't know how you say it in English. Like a bag, not a bag, like a chest, treasure chest, but not for treasure, just a decoration. And I went to work, and when I came back, it was ruined, damaged. Like visibly, the lock was broken down, and it obviously wasn't me. And I told him, this person, Will, and his answer was to the fact that someone did come in and did a damage to something that was in my room. I don't want to hear that. I don't care about this negativity. Leave me alone with this. I was like, but someone came in and it's your flat. It's actually your property and there's damage done to it, and you don't want to acknowledge it. I mean, you are my landlord, actually legally liable. Sorry, to to take care of this stuff, but he never did. He's a therapist, although he probably just had a bullshit pseudo degree from some university, but he's not a psychologist. He's not a. I don't think he's a proper doctor. But looking back now, he could easily play psychological games with me. He he said to me the first time when he sat me down if I'm the right candidate to live with him. He asked me a lot of questions, and he said he's a therapist, and he said he fights terrorism, something like that. And I was like, it was weird. But at the time I was just so desperate that I needed a place to stay. But it wasn't a favor; I paid for it, so that was weird. And then he just did a lot of weird things, like flashing his phone camera in my eye. Now I know it's because he wanted to see if my eyes are chipped, or there is like a, most targeted individuals have this lens. It's invisible. Like it's like a gel layer on your eye, and it's so the perpetrators can see through your eye. It's like a camera. Most of you have it. It's not. It's visible if you use a UV torch, and it will light up purple if you have a if you have that. Most people do. Yeah. So he did that, and I was just so like, for example, my package was stolen. Like he had a neighbor, like an Asian guy, in the next flat on the same level. I had a package coming for me, and the postman took a picture of the package and he sent it to me. But when I arrived home, the package was nowhere. And I had a picture to show the evidence that the neighbor took it. And I went to the neighbor and they lied about it. They said they never took it, but I had a picture that you could literally see their door open with their hands, the package in their hands. So, yeah. When I lived there, I also had to take some injections for some injury, and so I had to like give an injection for me, and I kept the little vial in how do you say that, the little bottle in my room, and I'm pretty sure that because someone kept going in, they put something in the little bottle. So when I injected myself, there was some shit in it. I don't know, some biowarfare bullshit. I don't know. Probably I'm still suffering the effects of that. But why I want to expose this person? Because I think he runs gang stalking in the area. Because I think he's an MI6 agent, and I don't think that an ex-drug dealer should be anywhere near children or live freely if he's a criminal and he helps people to death. Because the way he acted, he always, for example, left the door open, the front entrance, and I'm like, why can you close the fucking door? And he said, I don't want to hear the negativity. No one comes in here. I don't want to hear that negativity. And I was like, I even showed him what's been done to me. So I showed him my affidavit that I wrote under oath about the targeting and the scientific evidence. He read it and he said, well, I'm sorry what's happening to you. But yeah, I think it's important that I share this because there were kind of a few these young thugs coming into the flat when I lived there. These typical gang stalking looking boys, and as you all know, what gang stalkers do is put innocent people on list. Some psychopath fuck like this man controls them and make them believe that they are terrorists. They are so much terrorists as I am, and I'm not a terrorist. So they put people on list and torture them and surveil them and harass them and all that kind of shit. And I think because I saw a few documents in his flat, I'm pretty sure he runs gang stalking in that area. And yeah, being involved in social care, in psychiatry, and in what else is doing, like property. Oh, one thing, he told me that there was a criminal, his friend, in prison. He managed to bring that person out from prison and he got him a fucking flat like that. Now tell me that's not an MI6 agent who's doing these fucking deals with criminals, bring them out just so they can torture people, do gang stalking basically. So me or someone else in need, normal, decent people, or people with families, they have to wait 3-5 years for a council flat. But this guy, who's just a therapist, ex-drug dealer, he magically could arrange a fucking flat just like that to an ex-criminal who was brought out from prison before his time. I mean, if you put this together, I'm pretty sure that he has something to do with targeting, and I'm sorry, but I will expose every fucking person I ever met or I ever meet if I think or believe or I have evidence that they participate in this horrific fucking program that kills people. If you go on his website, it's like empowering the UK, and then you see these electromagnetic waves and this brain there. I mean, come on, tell me that that's not what they're doing. Synthetic telepathy, surveillance, uh, making people this zombie hive mind, gang stalking idiots. Yeah, so I suffered really bad injuries there, permanent ones. I I suffered a lot of financial damage. Uh, as you can see in this slide, this, no one paid me for this shit. And when it was done, it was like proper red, and I have evidence to prove that. And most certainly, I didn't do it to myself just so I can say now that it was someone else, right? It was really red and really painful, and I didn't think, because at the time I have a lot of pictures, like a lot of videos of directed energy weapon attacks, like here red burn marks and all that shit, that I couldn't possibly done it to myself. And I thought that this will go away as well, but this didn't go away. It's been like 2 or 3 years and it's still there. And it's not painful anymore, but when it was done, it was proper painful. So yeah, this is the shit that they do, and I felt that it's important to share this. So if he is involved in this shit, he cannot get away with it.